Hello and welcome to another episode of the Driven Shot podcast. My name is Peter Monema, also known as Barça DNA on Twitter, and today will be the match review between FC Barcelona and Daegu. Barca winning 5-0 to cap off their preseason tour in Asia. Toni Fernández with his first Barca goal alongside Marcus Rashford. And so, without further ado, let's get to it. So coming into this game, this was the last match of the preseason tour in Asia, this being played in Daegu in South Korea. And Barcelona in this match really were gearing up for the new season. There are only 2 weeks left until Barca begin their defense of the La Liga title against Mallorca away from home. Of course, they will play against FC Como on Sunday. But before that, we talk about this game where Barcelona really did show a level up in terms of their fitness, their match sharpness, and really their game in general. In this match, just a few things to note. Barcelona dominated completely when it came to possession. Their pressing was very good. They were able to win the ball high up the pitch. They were able to control the rhythm of the game and really play at their tempo. And just a noteworthy stat here, Barcelona caught their opponents today, Daegu, offside 6 times, 5 of those coming in the first half. Now, this is noteworthy because the total offsides today are more than in the previous 2 matches combined. So as you can tell, Barca are clearly getting sharper, they're getting wiser there to their opponents, and they look more like themselves. They look more like the team we saw last season compared to what you've seen so far during the preseason tour. Of course, another noteworthy thing today is the clean sheet. Barca, of course, not conceding a goal this time around. Very, very good to see. And a sign I'm sure that Hansi Flick and his staff will be very, very happy with. Now, to the game in general, for me in the first half, they were, I would say, 3 players that really, really impressed. I would say Lamine Yamal, Pedro Fernandez, and of course Gavi with his 2 goals were for me the best players of the first half. Now I want to begin first and foremost with Lamine Yamal, who in my view was just an absolute joy to watch in this game. His dribbling was phenomenal. It didn't matter if it was a 1v1, if it was a 1v2, if it was a 1v3, he commanded a presence there on the pitch. He always looked to entertain the fans. They were loving every time he got the ball. There's a presence about him. There's an aura about him there as he runs at opponents. And it just feels like this season, there's more prominence coming the way of Lamine Yamal. Of course, a lot of that surrounds him wearing the Barca number 10 and growing in stature, growing as a player, as a person as well. That being said, the way he's playing right now, it commands a presence. Every time he receives the ball, he's direct. He wants to run at someone. He wants to create an opening. His passes as well. Some of the balls he played were phenomenal. I mean, he had a Trivela pass for Lewandowski that was cleared off the line in the end. Otherwise, it would have been another sensational assist. And so Lamine Yamal throughout this first half was just scintillating. And every chance he had to run and terrorize his opponent, he was doing so. He was weaving in between several players at once. Of course, he got the assist for Gavi's first goal, which was really well taken in the 20th minute. Yamal with some lovely stopovers there, shimmying one way, going the other, cutting it back. Gavi, lovely bit of composure, getting the ball onto his left foot, and a really, really clean finish there into the bottom corner. So a very positive outing there for Lamine Yamal. And next up, I want to talk about Pedro Fernandez, who for me has been the revelation of this preseason tour in Asia. He was just brilliant. He got the chance to start today, which he didn't have in the previous 2 matches, and he made it count. He was brilliant in this game. What I love about Pedro Fernandez is that he always wants the ball. For a kid who is only 17 years old, first time playing for Barcelona at this level, it's easy to perhaps shy away, to perhaps maybe wait until you're in space to demand the ball, but he doesn't care. You know, if he's marked by 1, 2, 3 players, he still wants the ball. And I love his zone of influence. This is a player who not only demands the ball, but is responsible with it. He's able to go into different areas and play, whether it's dropping deep into the midfield, whether it's playing up and close to the striker, whether it's moving out wide or playing through the center. He just always wants to link up. He always wants to look for his teammates. His intelligence and reading of the game is very, very good. And on top of that, his technical ability is of a very, very different caliber to most players. He's so silky and smooth with the ball at his feet. And it's so fun to watch. He gets you off your seat. He gets you thinking, wow, where did this come from? Where did he come from? He's such a wonderful, wonderful talent. And now I really hope that with how well he's played in preseason, that he does have a fixture in the first team. We'll see whether or not it's a permanent fixture or whether or not he will perhaps alternate between Barca Athletic and the first team. But he is certainly one to watch this season, a very, very talented player, and someone who I'm sure Flick will love to make use of in the upcoming games ahead. Now we move on to Gavi, the top scorer of Barca's preseason. Who would have seen that coming? What a player. Honestly, we have to say it. What a player. It's perhaps easy to forget just how good Gavi is because of the devastating injury that he did suffer, which left him out for such a long time, that when he came back, of course, it was always going to be hard for him to recover his best level right away. It was always going to take time for him to really get his fitness back, get his confidence back in himself, in his body, in his game. And now we're seeing him almost a year on from the incident, almost a year on from his recovery, almost a year on from his return to the pitch. And he just looks like a player who has life again. He looks like a player who's enjoying himself again. And I love the way he's playing. Like I said in the last match review, he always plays at 100%. He always puts himself about. He looks to unsettle the opposition. He looks to cause problems. He looks to be a nuisance. His pressing today was fantastic, winning the ball up the pitch so many times, getting Barca in dangerous positions. And he's a goal threat too. That's another very, very underrated part of Gavi's game. He can score goals. He can be a threat in the final third. And today, the first goal he scored was a fantastic goal outside the box there. Lovely composure. Once again, another goal on his left foot. And then for a second goal, end of the first half, it's a different type of finish. It's a chip shot that he plays across goal. Whether he was going for goal or looking for a pass, it's academic. The ball goes in. It's a really, really clean finish. And you're seeing a player right now who has confidence in his body again, a player who believes in his ability, and one that Hansi Flick for sure is going to make use of this season. I really do believe that Gavi could be set to have a monumental campaign for Hansi Flick, and perhaps we'll see if he can break into the team as a full-fledged starter. But for what he's showing in preseason, it's certainly very, very promising. And so we move on, of course, to the second half. But before that, just want to give a shout out there to Gerard Martin and, of course, Lewandowski. They also got themselves on the goal contributions list. Of course, Martin with the assist, Lewandowski with the goal. Gerard Martin, really impressive in preseason so far, playing his football more as a center back than as a left back. Perhaps Flick trying to see if he could fill in at times for Inigo Martinez and, of course, give him a left-footed option when it comes to playing out of the back. But Martin today was really, really good. I do want to give him a shout-out just for the play he made for the goal because it was really, really impressive. He vacates his position there at centre-back when Barcelona had stable possession, and he makes a movement that you likely wouldn't see from Inigo Martinez or Araujo or Christensen. Because of his experience playing as a fullback, Martin generally has a good sense of where the space was. And since Balde was in a central position, he just drifted really, really cleverly into a wide position. Rafinha saw the gap. It's a really good pass from Rafinha to find Martin. And the cross he puts in for Lewandowski was really, really something else. It was special. It was a gorgeous, low-driven cross right across the face of goal, beats everybody, and it's just perfectly on a plate for Lewandowski. He doesn't have to do too much, just tap it in. There's your goal. And for Gerard Martin, very impressive. For Lewandowski, of course, at his age, very good to see him scoring, finding the net, looking confident, looking very, very good in preseason. Not to say his touches have looked good. He's been decent on the ball there. Again, I like to see him playing in various positions, whether it's scoring, assisting. He's doing very well, so it's all good and well to see. Now, in the second half, similar to Pedro Fernandez, now there's Toni Fernández that we have to discuss. Of course, there's no relation between the two of them, but I have to say that Toni Fernández in preseason has been wonderful. He really has. Every chance he's gotten to really show Flick who he is, what he's about, he's taken it. And of course, Flick has already been impressed with him. He did bring him on the tour to the US last season. Of course, this time he had a more prominent role in playing Toni Fernández, and he was superb. I loved his link-up play with his teammates. The combination play that he had with Dani Olmo and Rashford for him to get himself on the score sheet was phenomenal. I loved the way he was composed with his finish, left-footed player there, pretty much uses his body to sit the goalkeeper down, finish on the other side. A really, really good, nifty player. And again, similar to Pedro Fernandez, the zone of influence is really, really important here. This is a player in Toni Fernández who is very, very capable of drifting in so many different positions, whether it's going one way or the other across the front line, whether it's playing even at times as a winger on the left side, which is not his natural position. He's still effective simply because of his intelligence, his movement, knowing where to find spaces, knowing when to release a player like Joffre in behind for a cross across the face of goal, knowing where to find gaps in the box or receiving the ball and drifting infield there, looking for passes with his teammates to combine or even playing underneath the striker. We saw so many variants as part of Toni's game. And once more, like we said before with Pedro, what I love about Toni is the same thing. He wants the ball. He wants to be responsible. He wants to be involved in every single facet of the attack. And that's very good to see for a youngster. As well, shout out to the likes of Dani Olmo and, of course, Marcus Rashford getting his first goal in a Barcelona shirt. Today, his role was different. He wasn't playing as a winger, at least for the most part. He was playing more as a number 9, and he looked good out there. He was very, very relaxed, very poised. I think in the second half, Barcelona themselves were sort of relaxed and poised. Daegu weren't really in the game at all. They weren't really a threat going the other way. And it was raining, the pitch wasn't really the best, and so it kind of felt like Barca just kind of took the sting out of the game in the second half, played at a more relaxed tempo. Still were trying to score goals, still were trying to come forward, and Rashford was very prominent in that. And in the end, he cut himself his first goal. It was a great ball played into him by Eric Garcia, and I love the finish there from Rashford. Very, very cool, calm, collected, with conviction as well, right into the bottom corner. A sharp finish. And Rashford now a goal and an assist in the preseason tour over here in Asia. He is off and running now as a Barca player, and I cannot wait to see him in front of the fans when Barca do play Como, and even more so, I cannot wait to see what he can do in a Barcelona shirt once the season fully begins. So this will be the conclusion of the match review. Barcelona winning 5-0 in the end, a very good performance. Second half team as well played at a good level. There was a good mix there between players who don't often get chances and then some that you expect to be fighting for a spot in the starting 11. Overall, Barcelona comfortable, cruising, 5-0, 3 games in Asia, 3 wins. And now we will see you very, very soon for the next game against Como. There may be a video that comes out this week from me, maybe this week or maybe next week, of just about players who've really impressed in this preseason tour, perhaps some talking points and expectations for the season ahead. But until then, I will see you very, very soon. Take care, stay safe, and Visca Barça.